All right, so where are we now? Okay, Sens have it, and they clear a bit of a stretch pass. Ooh, that could have been dangerous. Alexeyev, a little careless. Could have been called for a penalty there. Pacioretty, puck loose, and it's icing. Did not quite get the step on the Sens defender there, so it's icing according to the hybrid rules. If you're new to hockey, the old rule was if you were first to the puck, regardless, icing would be waived. But the new rule is a hybrid rule where they draw an imaginary line about 10 feet in front of the goal line, and the linesman's job is to judge to see who gets there first, and then they call it. That's to prevent injury from people running into the walls, is what used to happen. That's why they created that rule. Caps deep in their zone win the face-off. Scarbosa battling it in the corner with Dubé. Puck is buried. Sens get it out. They get a 2-on-1 briefly, but it goes wide. Okay, and Pacioretty looks like he's going to clear, and this one is, I think, looks like it's out of play. So Dubé is looking like he's going to get some extra ice time. He goes off, but I'd like to see him get some extra ice time, see what he can do. I don't think he's had a bit of a chance. I think Lapierre has already proven himself in this game, so be very surprised if he doesn't get some extra time. But with all the injuries, so yeah, I think Lapierre will stick. But yeah, I'd like to see what Dubé can do here. So don't be surprised if he gets anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes of ice time in this period alone.
It's been good. I've enjoyed this game. I have to
It's
admit.
nothing nothing to not enjoy except for that first period kind of mini meltdown. I did not like to see that at all, but did like to see that the Caps came storming back and found a way to keep the offense going. That was the big thing. Of course, it's pretty easy when, I mean, can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But Ottawa's goaltending this year has been nothing to write home about, and that's as nice as I can be about those guys. But yeah, Cap's taking full advantage of that tonight. I kind of wish I'd looked into that a little more because I didn't figure the game would go higher than say 5 goals. Well, they've blown that up for sure tonight.
Right. Well, I 100% did not expect this, but yay, Protus. I mean, I know you and I talk about this, and I know I kind of gush over him a little bit. But impressive. And then fuck yeah, Carlson. Like especially with tonight, just yeah.
Now, Carlson, you knew would be pumped because he's breaking. This is breaking the record for all-time games played by a Caps defenseman. So you knew he'd be pumped, and he always gets at least 1 or 2 points against the Senators. So that's always a good bet. Great shot on goal though by him. That was a thing of beauty.
So wait,
But well, I'm sorry, Robbie, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say. So Gil, what's the record? Is this the most games by a defensive player?
Most games by a Caps defenseman for a career.
Nice.
983. Calle Johansson
I
was
thought it was Callie that had
Yeah.
the
record holder for that. They were tied last game. Now it's broken. And Carlson with his goal also climbs into second place by himself for most goals by a Caps defenseman. So, pardon me. He was tied with Sergei Gonchar for that honor. Okay, so we're back in action here behind the net. Oh, bad turnover, and Kemper steers that one away. That could have been a bad one. Cleared all the way back to the Sens zone. Senators have it. They break out. Turnover again. Caps recover. And let's see. It looks like the McPromo line is out there again. Love to see what they can do.
It's funny. Gil is like 7 seconds ahead of me. Like, well, there's that play.
Carlson recovers. Okay, I lost the action a bit, so I'm going to pick it up here. Okay, Protus and McMichael along the boards. Senators recover. They clear in. And yeah, plays a little bit disorganized here, so we're going to wait for it to get going again. Back behind the net, Kemper will roadblock, and it is flicked out. TVR looks like along the boards. Yeah, this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be how the Caps are going to need to play it out here with 12 minutes to go. Just keep the Senators away from the middle. Keep them away from any chance of getting too organized and getting a cycle going when they do manage to break into the zone. Okay, so that's Scarbosa clearing it into the zone. They go for the change. Senators break out again. Another dump. And yeah, if they force the Senators to constantly play dump and chase, even though they've got legs on defense, I think Caps are going to lock this up. So it looks like Obey Kubel behind Senators net. He gets it to the point. Over to Alexiev.
Recording
Alexiev
in
to the cross
progress.
point. And Caps lose it along the boards. They have to retreat. Senators to recover at neutral. And don't make much of it. So looks like LaPierre again. He's going to lead the attack. He's behind the net. Does a hard around over to the point. And that's Carlson again, who can't keep it. So it squibs out to neutral again. Go ahead, Robbie.
Okay, I'm going to take over for just a second because I am going to start to go live and I'll start the podcast. But I wanted people to get to hear the Power Play Point podcast duo and do a live. We are simulcasting. There's about 10 minutes left in the third. I will get scoring updates from Gil as we get along in this. I'm going to quickly go live, so we'll see and hold for 30 seconds here. And I think we're live on Facebook. Welcome. This is episode 332 Cap Special. It's a live game, and we recap the last week for the Caps. DC United also returns. We'll talk about them. We'll also talk about some wrestling. And then people that are live on the Twitch chat will also watch me do a scuba video edit, and I might even do a Photoshop edit, and we're going to celebrate Pokemon Night. We're going to stay up till about 12:10 live here in Eastern. So it's a big show tonight. But we will have live Caps updates all night long. We are live on the True Radio Network Facebook page. We are also live on Twitch. And Gil, let people know what the current score and time is in your game.
Pardon me. So yes, we are 10-10 left into the third period of this game. Shots on goal 2017 in favor of the visiting Senators. And I don't mean the ones in the Capitol Dome. The good guys in red lead 6-3 in this game. Goals, a pair by LaPierre. Appropriately enough, John Carlson in his milestone game got one. Max Pacioretty another. Protus with the opener, and I'm blanking on who got the other one.
Mallenstein.
Mallenstein, that's right.
Right.
Mallenstein got another goal in the second period. So those are your six for the Caps. If you're a fan of Papa John's Pizza, and at least two of us here are not. You get a half price order from them tomorrow, regardless, win, lose, or draw here. And okay, so picking up the action, Sens are retreating, and can't say it enough. This is how the Caps have got to play. Just not get caught, not let these guys get behind them, or not have a sustained cycle. Obey Kubel, again, look for him. Look for his line. I think Obey Kubel and Pierre Dubé are on the same line. Look for them to get a lot of ice time in this period, because they're going to have to control it. Okay, so Kubel's got it to the left circle, sends it over to the right. The shot is blocked, and so the Sens are going to break out 2-on-3. Caps have numbers, so there's not going to be much that comes out of this. Bear does the hard around, can't clear, so he gets help, and the Sens lose it, so they got to retreat to neutral. So they get reorganized again. Hard around by them. Bear recovers in the corner, gets it over to, I want to say that's, I can't see who that is. Okay, Obey Kubel's line is still out there. Now it's LaPierre. So they've changed. Ovechkin is chasing it behind the net, and he gets it. He's battling along the boards, trying to get it to LaPierre. LaPierre recovers, going to send it out to the point to Sandin. Sandin cross ice, and a shot on goal goes wide. Ovechkin recovers in the corner. And let's see. Nope, he loses it, sends recover, and they are going to clear. So they break out into the middle. It goes in the corner, and Sandin will recover. Carlson waits. Caps pick it up again. They break out. Malenstein has it on the right wing, looking for Ovechkin in the middle. Can't get it to him. He loses it. And Senators recover again, but they quickly turn it over. John Carlson takes it out over to center. And let's see. Okay, and it's off the playing surface. So Caps will change. Looks like Pacioretty's line is going to come out. So I am going to give my pipes a rest here. And Anna and or Robbie, please feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I don't have the skill.
All right,
Did
I'm
we
back.
lose?
I don't know. My computer completely crashed on me, so that's fun. Luckily, I do my stream across 3 computers, and I have 2 great co-hosts.
This has been like the Gil show. I'm just here as no, Gil, it's awesome. I'm fully supporting this. I think it's amazing. And we lost Robbie. Are we all frozen? No, I'm not.
I think his computer locked up on him. I'd offer my skills, but I don't know wouldn't know how to communicate with him at this point.
Yeah. No, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Let me just have that little warm and fuzzy moment, and then we'll get into the fuck yeah Caps moments.
Oh, definitely.
It's so hard. Like again, like
Yeah,
I
thanks for
also
all your
oh, you
No, it's
there?
good. I like
we
Gil's
got him.
play-by-play.
Got him
We don't get
I
to.
do too. I think
Thanks,
it's
guys.
awesome.
I appreciate it. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, so I've got the captioning on, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Full disclosure, I'm borrowing from borrow from the 2 best in the league, so in the game, Joby and Locker. So okay, so if you're not watching, they're showing a replay of the last couple shifts here. And last couple dangerous chances here by the Senators, and they're showing how Sandin and the basically all of the defense and forward core have been getting in the way of the shots, and that's helping because if we're being honest here, he's made 16 saves out of 19, but I don't think Kemper has been seeing the puck very well this game, so they're going to need he's going to need all the help he can get here.
Agreed.
So. Okay, so we're back to live action. Looks like a misdraw. No, some sort of violation. I missed what happened here. So they're gonna line up. I don't know what happened, but they're lining up in Ottawa's end. Caps get possession, and it is Protas along the boards, and he recovers cross ice. Oh, great shot, great pass to McMichael, looks like, who got a shot. No, Sandin, sorry. Sandin, who was wide open, got on a Corpusalo, who managed to steer it away. Senators recover. They get possession now. They're starting to cycle. And so they've got it behind the net, keeping it to the outside, like I said. And that's been their game. But they're starting to crash 2-3 deep in the slot, so they're going to be dangerous here if the Caps can't keep it out of the middle. Carlson misses check there, so they've still got it. Senators got 30 seconds plus in their zone. It's starting to get dangerous. This is where Caps can get a little careless here at times, but they manage to clear it, so that's good. That is good for them. So Shabbat, their star defenseman, will break it out. Caps get a line change. And let's see, that is Scarbosa. So the Scarbosa line is out, and they cleared along the wall, but not out. trying to battle. TVR has it. He will lift it out. It's been his specialty, but unfortunately, that will go for an icing. So it's going to come back. So the Dubé line is out again. They're seeing him out. They got him with Scarbosa. I don't know. I'm going to check and see if that was the original lineup. Actually, yes. Okay. So Scarbosa is centering Pacioretty and Dubé according to the original plan. So Senators win that face-off, win the draw, but they lose it. TVR's trying to flick it out, and a little bit dangerous there. Senators had it for a second, but Caps recover, and they will break out again. Pacioretty slips it over, but can't hang on to it, so it'll go the other way.
All right, Gil, I'm gonna take over for just a second.
Sure.
It's been a very exciting and very close game. So I just want to let people know we're watching a live game. It's the Caps 6-3. I want to give a little bit of a scoring reset for the people that are just new listening on Twitch or on Facebook. In the first period, Protas and Carlson got the first two. Then Ottawa was able to get two back. One which was a crazy thought to be tipped with a high stick, but was overturned and was actually just below the crossbar. I think he got very lucky. Made it 2-2. Max Pacioretty scores a great goal on the power play. Assist by Scarbosa and McMichael on that to make it 3-2. Beck Mallenstein made it 4-2. Brady Tkachuk unfortunately made it 4-3. But LaPierre got two goals, his third and fourth of the season. The Beck Mallenstein and Ethan Bear on the first one. It was just about 30 seconds after their goal, so it was a good neutralizer to restore the 2-goal lead. And then got another one about 10 minutes later or so, maybe 9 minutes later. Assist by Anthony Mantha and Protas. Mantha's having himself a game. He's just been playing really well as of late. Protas has been playing great. So the Caps have been doing great. I'm going to do a quick little reset of the week, and then Gil will let us know if things happen that is different in the score for 6-3. But he can watch that, and Anna and I can talk a little bit about some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I actually liked what Gil did this week, and we can go and talk about them backwards, and then that way we can talk about the game that I went to last. So I'm going to steal a page out of Gil's playbook. And but the last game was a really close one. The Capitals and the Panthers. And if people don't know what I mean by stealing a page out of Gil's playbook, you can catch the latest Power Play Point podcast. Gil and Anna do break down these exact three games, but they don't have a live game to stress over during it. So they definitely go more in depth into them than we will tonight. But we'll still get through them. And it was a close game. The one in Florida. Nick Cousins scored 403 into it. We were down 1-0, which is never a recipe for success for the Capitals. But Milano scored a power play goal. It made it 1-1. Rasmus Sandin, his 15th assist of the season. Pacioretty's 10th. So they're getting to double digits. Tied it up. Tom Wilson on the power play. I know Tom.
Yeah.
Has been so wanting this, and
yes,
everybody's been. It was fun to hear her talk about how many people were messaging.
It's almost like they know I'm a fan. What?
Yeah, momentum swinging goal. What I thought 2-1. I really thought that was going to hold up, to be totally honest. And he's wearing 43. Gil is, if you're just listening, which I love. I almost grabbed my 43, but I talked to Gil and Anna before. I wasn't wearing any sports stuff or any Capital stuff before, and it is Pokemon Day at midnight, so I thought I'd wear a Pokemon shirt, which I thought I can celebrate that a little bit later. And I'm very superstitious. If I was wearing it before, I would have kept it, but I wasn't.
Can I ask, what is Pokemon Day? What does that mean?
Pokemon Day. Yeah, it's a good question. So Pokemon celebrates their anniversary every year of them being created. And I'm just making sure I get it right. So how many years has it been? Pokemon Day, Pokemon birthday. So it was, I believe it was on 1998. I'm just making sure I got that right. Yeah.
I was going to say Pokemon pretty much predates all of my children.
Yeah. So it was, I think it was 98 because I played in the first set of games back then, or at least. So I guess 96 to present is it how you could consider it, but I think it came to the United States in um uh or maybe it is 96, but I think it came to the US a little bit later. So 'cause I originally I got them like when they first came out, and I've been a fan
Okay.
since the very beginning. So but yeah, anyway, every year on their birthday, they celebrate Pokemon Day, where they release news about all the Pokemon games that they're going to release for the year.
Oh, nice.
Fun.
Okay.
And so that'll be 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific on all the Pokemon channels across the internet and stuff like that. And people,
Real quick, if I can play, I can do a Diane Doyle impersonation. Pokemon, supposed to be a portmanteau of Pocket Monster, hence the
oh yeah,
name.
yes, that's true. It is, and that's actually what the shirt is that I'm wearing. That's a good segue if people can read it. And it's actually not an official Pokemon shirt. I'm a big fan of Philip DeFranco, who's an online personality who I get my news source from, who's a YouTuber. And he made merchandise once, and it says, "Don't mind me, I'm just catching invisible monsters." But monsters is done in the Pokemon font, so it like looks like a Pokemon. Anyway, so
There you
I
go.
thought it was kind of hilarious. So yeah, so talked about pocket monsters. It is, in fact, exactly what that is. So,
Pikachu,
um,
we see you, Robbie.
exactly. So, I'm a
Gil.
big. If people don't know this about on my podcast, I don't talk about it a whole lot. But I am a diehard Pokemon fan, and in fact, if you're on Twitch, I have a ton of Pokemon emotes that you could use. So, people in chat right now are using Charizards and Pikachu's and other or Charmanders and Charizards and other stuff there. So,
And there's no
um,
Squirtle fans out there.
well, all mine are Charizard emotes, so if they're using
Okay.
mine, they're not going to. But the
I will only say that because when you said it could be 1998,
yeah.
I had graduated college and got my first job at a school in Los Angeles. So if this was just coming out and I was with fourth grade boys
Oh wow.
at the time, there was all this talk, and I was like fascinated because I'm like, what the hell is whatever.
Yeah,
But then I remember seeing a Squirtle and I was like, okay, that's just adorable. But of
it
course
is.
I couldn't say that because the students were like, it's not adorable. Um, but
No,
yeah,
they are. They're designed to be cute, but also like to destroy each other. So,
totally.
uh,
So that's my
they only ever
experience.
faint, though. By the way, no, none of the Pokemon ever die. They have faint and they
Yes.
can be revived. So that's
Well,
like
I
the
think it
big
was,
difference.
so I will have to say the ones that I thought were the coolest was that and Jigglypuff.
Oh yes, that's actually my best friend. He was my one of my groomsmen, and his favorite Pokemon is a Jigglypuff. So we
Yeah,
play a lot
I
of
think I
Smash
just like the
Brothers,
name.
which is such a classic game because Jigglypuff was one of the first characters you could play as in Smash Brothers, which is like the
There
big
we go.
battle royale between all of them. So anyway, people watching live, it's 2:20 on my watch. Washington's up 6-3. I know Gil's a little bit ahead of me, but. So it's been a close game and a close week, and we almost won this game 2-1. But then unfortunately, Barkov got a power play. We just took too many penalties in that, and it tied it 2-2. And then in overtime, made one mistake, and 2-on-1 the other direction, and they win 3-2. And sort of frustrating because we could have had a perfect week. But going into it last week, I was hoping for 4 points. I was hoping all of them would go to overtime and we'd win one. So I'll take 2 wins and an overtime loss is better than that. So it's I can't really complain too much. But we had the game and unfortunately we let it slip away. But Gil, what are some of your thoughts on that game?
I liked the pace of the game. I like the fact that they kept up with Florida. Florida will be one to take advantage if you choose to chase the game. Usually, when the Caps fall behind early, that's what they end up doing. But to their credit, they didn't. So I think overall, except for literally the last minute, was a great game played by them. Also, though, like you said, they couldn't stay out of the box appropriate enough against a team called the Cats. Couldn't stay out of the box because they fed the cat X-Lax. That's what happens, and you give them too many power plays. And yeah, they capitalized on it, and so off to overtime they went. And yeah, one mistake by Milano, and I still say he was dead tired. Although as has been said, you still make the right play, but Overall, still pretty good game though. Great for them to come out with a point.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if the worst game of the week we still got a point in, then we had a good week. So that's kind of my takeaway. I know some people are perfectionists or complaining or whatever, but I have to say that in this game that we're currently watching, I was pretty impressed because both teams put up 20 shots, but. Darcy had some rough patches earlier, but he really got it together and has stood strong here. I'm watching here. I'm going to talk about the last 15 seconds because I know Gil's already probably seen it. But they're trying to rush down the ice. We're still up 6-3. They're taking one last shot on goal, but it is deflected up, and it leaves it with 8 seconds left. There's a bit of a brouhaha in front of Darcy Kemper with Kachuk, nonetheless. Shocking.
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 And he's separated and being brought to his bench with 8.8 seconds left. So Ottawa, with that shot, actually takes the shot lead 21-20. But Washington was able to put a lot of them in the net. Just some really, I mean, exciting goals, but also just some fluky bounces and crazy things that which is it's just why I
Yeah.
love hockey, because like I've seen games where we've had similar things and they just all bounce out, So like it's interesting that people get so high and so low, watching these games instead of just enjoying the moments, because like at any moment your puck luck can change, and then
Yeah.
um, and I want to always say the better team wins, but I mean, in the past week we've beaten all teams that are higher than us in the standings, right?
Yeah.
So like,
And
I don't
there's
think we were
really
as bad as
nothing.
we were in the early part of the season. I don't know
Right.
if we're as good as we are right now. Who knows? Things are just gelling. But I like that we're bringing the younger people up, and
Yeah.
they're contributing, and they're getting a lot of really good experience. And if anybody can find any fault with what we're seeing, like we won that game 6-3. It's our highest scoring game of the season, or tied for it. And we never win on the podcast, so I'm going to celebrate it. But
I know.
the especially never a laugher. It's always been like 2-1 maybe. Like so I'm happy that went so well.
And I'm just loving seeing Chuck going down the tunnel and looking pissed and probably throwing something, and me being like, hee hee, go. Hate you and your brother and your family. But yes. No, I will say, you know what, what I see in like tonight's game, what I saw in tonight's game, what I saw in the game on Saturday, they're having fun. And it just, that's what we've wanted to see. And I think we've always seen that when they're out there having fun and not overthinking and not, overpassing and making stupid mistakes and spending a ton of time in the box. Um, that's caps, hockey. So it's like, if this is the next generation that's coming up, welcome, welcome. Like this LaPierre, like McMichael, like all the ones that we've seen the last couple of games have scored, and let alone twice in a game. Fantastic and good for them and good for us. Like there's, you can't be negative about that. It's not taking anything away from anybody. And man, I just gotta say that Mantha beat down on Cousins was a fuck yeah moment for me.
Yeah.
That I could watch over and over and over again, even though it wasn't Tommy doing it, Mantha doing it. Hell yeah, because that guy is
I really don't
such a
remember Mantha fighting that much. He looked really
no.
good.
But he
And
like when like there were some still shots on
oh,
social media, and I was like, go Mantha. Yeah, he did justice to that. And there were a lot of people who were like, thank God. His Cousins is such a dick.
yeah, for sure. I don't know. I was just really impressed in that game. Let's go back one more game to the Tampa Bay game. which was very exciting. Nicholas Abba-Kubel, 2:30 into the game, goes up 1-0. Connor McMichael continues his hot streak from the game that we will break down last that I got to go to. Scores his 11th of the season. Joel Edmondson, a 4th assist. Tom Wilson gets into double-digit assists there with his 10th. They go up 2-0. They looked really good doing it. I thought they played a really great first period. The second period, unfortunately, about 9 minutes in, they cut it to 2-1. I started to get really nervous because we're in Tampa, giving them momentum. But I love that Anthony Mantha scored right back and scored his 18th of the season. Dylan Strome on a great assist on his 19th assist. TJ Oshie's 8th assist. Unfortunately, this is not a good game for TJ Oshie fans. I do like Gil's assessment of maybe it was a back issue as someone who also has a lot of back problems. I know that Gil talks about his on his show. I have metal rods in my back, and I had scoliosis when I was 14. So I'm a bionic man for sure, and I've dealt with chronic back pain my whole life because of metal rods in my back. So I can definitely sympathize with that assessment. We don't know. They always just give you a general part of the body injury and then leave it at that. But anyway, Anthony Mantha, 18th goal of the season, made it 3-1. In the third, they just stormed right back. 2:42, they made it 3-2, and you saw the Caps get a bit shaky, and the Lightning struck right then on that, and right away, like less than a minute later, 3-3, tie it up, and Rasmus Sandin saves the day by grabbing back that momentum. His third of the season. He's been playing great. I thought he actually played a great game in the game before that I went to.
Yeah.
We've seen
but he's been a name that we haven't said as frequently.
I know, and he was a trade line last year's trade line acquisition.
Yeah.
We haven't said a whole lot about it. He got his third of the season. Alexei Protas his 19th assist of the season, which is crazy. And Dylan Strome's 20th assist of the season. So it makes it 4-3. Important goal. And then Connor McMichael, empty net, 18:58, just outside of the Nugget minute. But I have to give so much credit to Ovechkin on this play. Ovechkin has an opportunity at empty net. He had already missed it once. He had gotten his chance on that night. And instead of taking two chances and missing twice and being a selfish person like a lot of people want to paint him to be, he saw that McMichael is streaking up the thing, and if he can hit him in stride, it is a surefire goal instead of a chance at an empty net goal towards a record where people already are like, oh, you have too many of those, right?
Yeah.
So I
hats off.
Love the play. I love that he instills that optimism in that player, and because you could see he's been building over the last couple of games. Feed him, make him excited about the game, and he's the future of the franchise. You can build him up now, and so what a great moment for a captain, and it just, to me, completely underscores all the things that we have said about him, and just makes it laugh about all the things that are said negatively about this guy, about him always padding his stats, or all. I read that last week that somebody was saying that he just pads his stats. And I'm like, if he just padded his stats or was looking to be fed things, then he wouldn't have made that play.
Right. Oh,
it's just like,
that's just that the majority of people who put out an opinion like that are, hey, look at me. I have an opinion about hockey and I'm trying to look smart about it type of people. All sizzle, no steak, all icing, no cake is what that just noise from people who don't know what they're looking at, don't know the game.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So
can I just say I love seeing DSP on right now.
I think I love the rotation with him on sometimes, and Coach Boudreau.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing with that.
Yeah, he looks good.
Interesting. Lapierre scored a hat trick versus Sens affiliate on 2/19. And then tonight he scores 2 goals. That's interesting. That's a fun fact. That's why you got to watch the post game, people. I know people like to turn it off afterwards. Like, you get nuggets like that.
Oh no, you get I strongly advise watching that. You get a lot of good information, a lot of insight from guys that have, had their eye on the game or have been
It's
in the
only
game.
official channel that gets an official post game for Capitals. Like, watch
Right.
it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, you're not getting it anywhere else. So
Yeah.
No, you're not going to get it from the 4-letter network. You're not going to get it from, the TNT guys, as funny as they try to be sometimes. No, you want information about the Washington Capitals and how they're playing and what they ought to be doing. It's right here.
yeah. So, and they do a good job. And I'm a big Alan May fan.
Me
And
too.
I have to give credit. The team that they put around them have grown on me. Like, I obviously had feelings when certain people were let go. But I think that they have a good team. And I think that they do a good job. So. I know Alexa, some people like her, some people don't, but whatever, she's fine. And
I
She's
like her.
good.
I like her.
I
She
do
has
too.
she adds an element of fun and just simple
she doesn't
wonderment.
take it too seriously.
Right. Simple
Which I
fun
love.
and enjoyment and wonderment about the game, kind of like, a little kid watching it for the first
Right,
time.
she's excited to watch it, and Alan May can be excited to explain it to her. And that's a
Yeah.
cool dynamic that I think it's fine. It's not
Absolutely.
I is it my absolute favorite post game segment duo of all time? No, but is it good enough for us? Yes. So
Absolutely.
no one's ever gonna beat Sir Charles Barkley. So I don't know, you can't there is no competition in my mind for post game shows. But that's a whole separate argument. Just because there's only certain personalities that exist like that. But
Absolutely.
but I am excited about how we came back and we answered and we got those 2 goals and we came away with that big win. Let me see here. I'm trying to make sure that I can do a screen share right here. I'm doing fancy stuff, but then the system, rebooted 3 times and I'm not even sure if I'm still the co-host. Oops, nope. Hold on. This is what happens when you do 2 computers at once. But on the benefit, you guys never dropped out, and the video and all the stuff the PC never went down, even though I completely crashed. So
Me not shutting up. Yeah.
no, it's helpful. You need people like that, and that's why you're the co-host of the segment. So, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So,
And me just sitting here, just being like,
let me see here if I can share. I just downloaded onto my computer. Let me see, does this work? I'm going to try to mute the volume there. All right, we're going to do a screen share, QuickTime. I hit a couple of buttons.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
And
so I'm assuming these were your seats.
Yep. So there we go. So now I'm using the screen that I usually use for. Hold on, does this work like that? All right. Nice. All right, I got us on the right side, and then the video there. I use this as my art scene, so when I'm doing an art and video editing, I can have different guests with me while I do a video edit, which people, if they want to see that, tune in about an hour, and I'll be doing more of that stuff. But what's great about this is I can show, video edits I'm working on, but I can also cut through different footage like this. So this was me getting to go to the game. So huge shout out to Andrew Tran, who's our good luck charm, and we need to send him to every game because he was at tonight's game as well. So clearly, him being there is a good reverse jinx for us doing this. So
had a lot of reps out tonight.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, C4 was there, and Andrew. So I appreciate both of them for bringing the luck for tonight's game. And I had the best time with Andrew. Andrew at 1 o'clock, or I think it may be at noon, sent me a text message and saying, the person I was going with is sick tonight. Do you want to go to the Caps game? And I can never say yes to things like this last minute because I take care of the kids. My wife works a lot of nights. But it was a Tuesday. My wife doesn't work that night. I had a chance. I called her. I was like, look, he's giving me a ticket. I'm not paying anything. I will eat dinner on my way there. Somewhere's cheaper. I will buy just one drink. I make it as cheap as possible, right? And she was like, sure. I never let you get to do this. So, yes. I mean, I'm not even, usually I'm spending the day being nervous, going to the game, had none of that feeling, which was great because I don't I get super nervous going to games. Not that I'm actually performing or anything, but I always have. And it skipped all of that because I was already past that part of my day. I've already had lunch, like I'm not going to get nervous at that point. I don't have enough time. And Liz was going to go pick up Zach for me. And so that way I didn't have to pick him up, whatever, and dropped off all my Caps gear at my office for me. I ran out
She's the
and grabbed it.
best.
So like I could wear all of it. So like wife of the century. So I wore the TJ Oshie because we're celebrating him getting his 300th goal, which you can see here is the celebration for that.
Nice.
And so it was a great celebration, standing ovation, call by Wes Johnson. Before that, though, we literally barely got to our seats before this goal happened, which was a beautiful goal by McMichael here, who slides in and scores it, at point blank range, and just a great goal. And I'm just like, I wasn't expecting it to be him or to score in the first minute, and so we barely sat down at that point. So that was great. The TJ Oshie celebration, and then what? Wait, we scored the second goal. I'm trying to remember who scored this one. So let's see here. So it was Dylan Strome, right? Who scored this one, I think.
The third one, yes.
Oh yeah, that's already the third one. What? Hold on. I swear I had the second one in here. Does it not? Did I not edit that?
So
right?
the Jumbotron. Okay, so that
Oh
one.
yeah.
Okay, so
This
the
is the second one.
Jumbotron says 2-1.
Now it's
So
this one. Sorry, I went too far ahead.
okay, so yeah, this is McMichael's second goal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the one where he dangles around him and in. It was just what a beautiful goal. So you can see it up in the jumbotron at the very top here, but he swipes it around him, makes him move and come out, and then it's up and in. So it was a beautiful goal there. And but then I'm just gonna pull up the score over here. So then the third goal was Dylan Strome, which was an assist by Alex Ovechkin and Sonny Milano. So that was a nice goal. So this one is deflected out in front and it bounced right to him, and so was it tapped in? Yeah, by Dylan Strome. So Ovi shot it right, I think, off the guy. And I think it was off the goalie, and then he collected the rebound. I'm trying to remember here. So
that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it looks like
Strome
shot
actually
off,
enters.
deflected off. Yeah, and then it bounced right to him, right in the crease, right there.
Right.
You can see that he shoots it up into the yawning net.
That's him just entering the picture at the last second.
Yeah. So that's crazy. At first, I thought it was the guy who was down low. I thought that he tapped it in, but it wasn't even him. It was coming in through the net. And then Ovi gets a goal with an assist by Dylan Strome. So the opposite of that. Ovi sort of sneaks into a pile of people and then seeing eye puck around them into the goal. Just it makes it look so easy. It's hard to be like. But anyway, and then the next one is a Scarbosa goal, assist by John Carlson and Max Pacioretty. It's his first goal of the season. And so here it's basically they check down low. It was a quick pass up front and then a tip in by Scarbosa in front. And then Ovi gets a power play goal at 1927. Is that right? Yeah. Assist by Dylan Strome and TJ Oshie to make it 6-2 in that one. So
What an exciting game for you.
Yeah,
goal for both you and Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, so Andrew and I went to both games that we scored 6 goals in 2 weeks. So
so crazy.
And so here we are at the game together. So
Awesome.
but yeah, that's crazy. He's definitely the good luck charm, though. I mean, I'm sad that his teams lost in the playoffs last week, but I'm happy it gives him the opportunity to go to more games, hopefully. So that was it was a super fun night, though. I mean, just a really gutsy win by the whole team. Everything was so unexpected and everything worked out so great. I mean, like, not only did I already eat dinner on the way there, Andrew's like, I have too much food, and was giving me this delicious pizza. We were in the like club level, like the pizzas are amazing there, and like it's just giving me these like crazy fries with sauces, and like we were just, I mean, it was like the best night ever. Because it's like it was a close game through the first two periods. I want
Right.
to emphasize that to people. Like, it was at no point did I expect there to be a 6 at the end of it, you know? So, but just a fun night. I mean, a 4-1 third period is just crazy. But yeah, it was 2-1 after 2. And I just remember it being a very close game, and then we suddenly just it all fell apart. And it's just the fact that Ovi got 2, and because I wanted Connor to get the hat trick, but he'd never even had a 2-goal game before. This is
Right.
his first 2-goal game. And then I was like, well, I guess Ovi getting another one. And it's kind of funny because then the opposite happens later, right? Where Ovi could get the empty netter, but he gives it back to Connor McMichael. And so
Which I love.
it's just kind of, it didn't
Yeah.
happen in that order, but it's just kind of.
Well, here's the thing. This what the Caps didn't get, and we mentioned this on our show. This latest episode we had. The Caps didn't get a power play in this game until literally the last minute.
You know, it's
And
so.
the coaching staff, but the coaching staff recognized
That's
that
right.
McMichael had a shot at a hat trick, so they sent him out as part of the number 1 power play unit with Ovechkin.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool to watch.
It was
So-
really cool that they put him on there. And so, but it was crazy because Andrew and I talked about the entire game. It's like, when is our power play happen? There's not going to be one. We literally talked the whole game about it. It's like, but there wasn't a lot of opportunities. I have to give credit to New Jersey. I saw maybe 2 plays the entire game that could have even been called. And maybe you could have seen some more stuff on TV, but from my vantage point watching it live, I felt like New Jersey played a really clean game. And that's why it was a very close game until the third.
Yeah.
And so
It was a great way to kick off the week for the Caps.
Yeah,
And for
it
the
was a great
fans.
jumping
I mean-
off point. I just can't believe I got to go. Like, I just,
Yeah.
it's so, like, unfounded. Like, I don't know. It's like one of my favorite games ever because good close game, and then it ends with a blowout where we're just laughing and cheering and like celebrating and not like, nervous, like fretting going to overtime. 'Cause
Right.
I've been in too many of those. So those are the average ones that we went to. In fact, the game that we all went to was much closer than this one in the end, if I remember, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that game like a
The
1 or 2
Columbus,
goal game?
Columbus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was a bit of a nail biter, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got to experience both, so that's great. So this one I enjoyed more, and just in the sense of getting blowing out and stuff like that. So I'm sad that our we were gonna try to do a joint one this season together. I'm sad that didn't happen. And of course, now that we didn't plan it, Gil, I knew this was gonna happen. It's 60 degrees on Sunday, so of course I'm not going skiing, right? So I completely skipped out on the plans for nothing. I'm like, but I also found out I have no babysitter to do it. So, so I guess I could have taken Zach and leave, Liz with Zara or something, but that would have been less fun. But anyway, I'm happy that I got to go to one more game this season. I'm sad that we didn't get to do it together, but if this was the game, I'm happy it was it. So, and Andrew said he had a great time with it. So maybe I'll get invited in some future game in the future. But I have to give him a lot of credit. I'm gonna stop the screen share there and switch back to the other sports scene. There we go. It was so fun watching it with Andrew, because he knows so much about the sport, and we're both such diehard Caps fans and have been for decades, right? So the level in which we were dissecting plays, saying, well, it would have been better if we had done this on that play, and then they do the adjustment later and we score on it. I'm like, we were right. The adjustment worked. And so it was a very unique and exciting experience that we got to have that together, because it's not usually we're with somebody who might not know to that level of of chatting about it, and so it was a great experience. So
Sorry, I
Yeah.
got something right in my eye.
Andrew, if you're listening, watching, you have an open invitation, but I would love having you on the Power Play Point podcast. Kind of do to at the end of the season to kind of do a bit of a wrap up and an evaluation of the coaching. Who overall I think they've done a pretty good job. I haven't agreed with everything they've done, but overall I got to say with the roster they were handed and the chances they were given to succeed, I think they've done a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm excited about where the team is. Um, I don't know. I mean, people have these convoluted thoughts about the
Of
where
course.
they expect it to should be or could be and it's so all over the map, right? Like some people think we should be way more successful than we are, and some people are like we should be shit and we should be trading away all of these players and seeing what we can do I'm like these are prospects. There's growing pains. Like let them play. They're getting this time. Unfortunately, we have so many injuries and we're still winning. Like I don't know. But
You can't make it can't make them all happy. There's always going to be people that are just going to find the
how can you
negative
be
and
sellers at this point? What are you selling? Why? Like, what are you? No, like,
yeah.
It's like we said, you cannot sell just to sell. You cannot just take what's there. It has to be a deal that makes sense. And for gosh sakes, do not sell off the blue chip prospects. Marashnichenko, Ryan Leonard, Ryan Chesley, those guys for sure. Matthew Cristal, the guys that are coming up. Do not sell off those guys because one day they're going to be the core, and they're going to get their shot here in the next 1, 2, 3 years. So if anybody comes a knocking and says, "I want these guys," no, you can't. No, off the table.
Yeah.
so Gil, they're talking about John Carlson and how he's now passed Sergei Gonchar for second most goals by a Washington defensive player. And he also has now played the most games for a defensive player. So passing two Washington greats. Who has scored more goals than John Carlson on the D?
I want to say I thought it was Gonchar, but it was Gonchar who he passed for second place. So I want to say I'm trying to think. I want to say it's Kevin Hatcher
It is. Good job.
because
One,
he actually
one,
had a 20
149.
plus. Yeah, he actually had a 20 plus goal season at least once, and I think twice in his career with the Caps. So yeah.
God, that top five. So people don't know. Hatcher has 149, number one. Carlson is now overtaken Gonchar with 145. I love that Gonchar has 144. By the way, we've talked about this before. That number follows me. Means a gross, right? A dozen, and my last name is Gross. So like that has always been one of my lucky numbers. And so it's just funny that Gonchar ended his Capitals career with 144, and that's the number that he just jumped over. Of all the numbers, right? But anyway, and then Green with 113 is tied with Kyle Johansson, also 113. That's crazy that it's kind of a tie for fourth, right? In the top five, and so many great memories with all those different defensive players. But Kevin Hatcher played 685 games for the Capitals to get to that 149 goal mark. By comparison, John Carlson has played almost 1,000 games. He's at 984, right? So, that's a significant more games to get to that number. So the goals per game definitely by Kevin Hatcher is going to be one that will never be topped, right? So, but anyway, and also Mike Green, getting 113 and 575 is really impressive as well. So props to some of those great defensive players in Capitals history. As it's an impressive night tonight. I'm so happy on a milestone night that he's able to get a milestone goal.
Yeah, well deserved.
Not easy to line those up. It's kind of fun for sure. And it's interesting that sometimes happens though, which is kind of interesting. The hockey gods,
We'll
look
blame the full moon from last night.
yeah, exactly. So, but just an absolutely great week. I know it's already 10 o'clock. That hour flew by, and we didn't break
Yes.
each game down as much as we normally do. If you guys want to know more, Gil and Anna do break down all three games in more detail in their latest Power Play Point podcast episode, which you can find on our podcast partners button on sportsothp.com. And we don't add links anymore to anything on Facebook because Facebook thinks it's spammy. So people have to do work. I'm sorry. You have to just go to my website, sportsothp.com, podcast partners. You can do the Power Play Point podcast. You can also get all the great different shows that are on. We have the No Spots podcast, which we have Champ, who's just about to join us in a few minutes. And we also have, great works by Dugenet as well. And if you click the Team SportsOTHP link, you have all of the links. You have all of Anna's links, Gil's links, Instagram, all that. So I put them all on the website so people don't have to go finding and searching everywhere for it. So definitely use that. We are going to update the website. I can't believe we're almost done with season 8. At the end of March, we will celebrate 8 years of streaming, which is pretty crazy. And then we will take 1 week off, as we do for spring break, and then we come back April 1st, I think is that Monday, and we will start season 9 of the show, and we'll have the Defenders are coming back, the Nats are coming back, Caps hopefully making maybe a run at the playoffs. Who knows? So a lot of fun stuff to talk about in season 9 for our spring season premiere there. So big celebrations coming up. I'm really excited about both of those shows. Again, towards the end of March. Also on that episode, we're going to have so many guests. Davey's going to come back on. He's going to talk about March Madness with us. We'll have a bunch of Twitch people who love basketball come on and talk about that. Also, the season premiere of season 9, that one's going to have a wrestling special with Champ. We're going to preview WrestleMania on that show, so that'll be fun. And WrestleMania is also the spot where his seasons change over too. So both of us kind of our seasons transition around the same time, which is kind of cool. I'm excited to talk wrestling. We actually have a pay-per-view that we'll talk about with Champ in a second. And DC United played their first game of the season, which is crazy.
I think he's maybe freezeaholic there. Maybe a little wheel of misfortune going on.
Something. Little too excited.
Little too excited. Maybe a little too much for the old CPU. But
allow me to take over here then, since he is
please
frozen.
do, Champ. Please do.
So as Robbie was just mentioning, DC United had their season opener this past weekend against the New England Revolution. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, along with me running my mouth with my wrestling nerdom. But before we do all of that, you guys did a great job as always with the Caps Roundtable. Always a pleasure to see you, Anna, as well as you, Gil. So before you guys get out of here, hopefully by the time Robbie gets back, which he is coming back shortly, and there he is.
He is back.
I had you covered. Robbie. I had you covered.
He jumped right in, and it was the smoothest transition ever.
Yes, I'm sure. I appreciate you guys. And this is why it takes a team and why I also run redundant computers, because it's the second time. It just decided to switch my Wi-Fi networks in the middle of me chatting. Because clearly, I don't know.
Champ got your back.
Yeah, Champ is always great. But thank you, Champ. But thank you guys for joining me. That was a fun one. I'm happy we got to do it live. I'm happy we got to hear play-by-play by Gil, which is
I know
we've never heard live on the podcast. And I think there might be one last Capitals game on a Monday this season. I think it's in March. Hold on,
I'm going to put it out there. I love Joe Beninati, but I would love to hear Gil on commentary with old boy on Monumental Sports. Right? I would love it.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
That you guys, you really know how to make a guy's head swell up. But thanks so much.
Hey, Gil and Craig, I would be down for it. I would actually watch a game. I would watch a
Totally.
game.
100%.
That'd be awesome. I doubt he'll remember it, but I actually had the pleasure of meeting him at a Laughlin Family Foundation charity event.
Yeah.
So, Caps have they have 2 road games in March. Did we lose Robbie again?
Monday, March.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, I think he got kicked out.
there he is.
No, there he's coming back, and he's
That one I didn't even change networks. I'm about to just switch computers, to be totally honest, because how many times am I gonna like go through the same thing? Luckily, I have a third computer right here. Anyway, sorry, I was saying Calgary Flames, March 18th, 8:30 start time. So instead of us doing the end of the game, we can talk about the latest Cap stuff and the first period, and then that game will go through my entire show. So
There you go.
you guys won't have to stay up for the whole thing, but you guys can go and watch the later periods, and then we can continue on from there. So there's gonna be so much. I mean, it's gonna be a 3-hour show for sure, just because like March Madness, live Caps game. And then we'll probably be previewing the DC Defenders season champ because it'll be the.
Robbie, I can hear you, but you're frozen.
Yeah, you're fading pretty bad.
Well, as Robbie was talking about, we will be talking about the Defenders when we come back after the spring break and things like that, because they'll already had their first game. I already let Robbie know that the week of the episode March the 25th, I will not be here because I will be in Orlando on vacation with my son, going to Disney.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
How
it
old's
was.
your son?
He's 10.
I love it.
Yeah,
You're
it
gonna have
was
such a good time.
It's going to be a special because it was my dad's last wish. He was trying to take Junior to Disney World last year when he went to Florida, but unfortunately, Junior had to start school the week they were there. And unfortunately, as many people know, my dad passed away 2 months ago. So this is my dad's last wish, is that Junior gets to go to Disney World. So that is the plan for the March the 24th to the 26th, is that we'll be in Orlando. And we'll hit Disney on that Monday, and then that Tuesday we'll find something to do down there in Orlando, and then Wednesday we fly back home.
Oh, you're gonna have a blast.
Wait
Oh my
till
God,
we
that's so exciting.
And we got Robbie back.
Yeah, with a completely different computer. I'm kind of giving up on that one. So I don't know how I'm gonna do my next segment when the video editing, which is on that computer, but I will deal with that after I deal with the wrestling segment. So we have a whole segment to try to troubleshoot that one. And you can see I'm on a different computer, different focus levels, different
Yeah.
cameras, fanciness. Anywho, but I'm just technology, and then there's no reason I didn't do anything different than the million other times I've ever done this podcast. In the same room.
It's all good.
Yes, I appreciate you both for joining me and us getting the win. And I know, Anna, you're taking off next week.
I am. Yep.
Happy birthday to your daughter.
Thank you. Thank
So that's
you.
always very exciting. And
13. Oh boy.
yeah, it's that's pretty crazy. It's fun to watch. I was just thinking about this when I first started doing the podcast with you guys. She was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Which is like about to be what my son's about to be. Which
it's
doing
so
it,
crazy.
he wasn't even born yet.
Right.
So
right. I mean, it's totally crazy because the ages, and we're teaching Hunter how to drive, and so there's that extra gray hair. So yeah, just incredible. So yeah, this weekend we're gonna celebrate the 13.
yeah,
Which I love that number anyways, but yes, but now
I do too. It's actually my wife's lucky number.
Yeah, mine too.
So I actually know a lot of people that have 13. I feel like either you think 13 is very lucky or very unlucky. I feel like there's not like a lot of like,
True. There's not
like,
an in between.
yeah, I actually think that the 13 is pretty lucky. I've always had pretty good luck on the Friday the 13th. It's the following Monday it seems to catch up to me, and like it seems to like
Oh yeah.
So but Anna, I hope that you celebrate and have a wonderful birthday, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
gear up, and then you probably do you also have the last week of March as your spring break?
Yep.
So they line up, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, which is great. So Champ will be in Orlando. I don't know what you guys are doing, but no, we're
yeah,
having a staycation, but we'll be doing something, some day trips.
right. I'm going to Texas, so
Oh, fun.
Corpus
To see,
Christi, and so we had a resolution this year that because we're trying to cut back a little bit on the traveling. We went a little crazy last year. And I wanted to before the kids were in like grade school, just because there's an opportunity there that you don't have when he's actually in kindergarten now.
oh,
and stuff like that.
absolutely.
So but so this year we're gonna try to because of that we took 2 years off of me going to Texas, but like her parents, all of her family, all down there, and so
Yeah,
it's nice to stay with her parents and get to see all of her grandparents, and they get to see their grandparents and great grandparents. So it's a
100%.
fun week, and hopefully the weather is nice. Texas, you never know, but often it is in March and stuff like that. So they live 30 minutes from the beach, and so they actually, one of the things I love about Corpus Christi, if people don't know this, it's one of only 2 places in our country where you're allowed to drive on the beach.
Oh,
And so they actually drive their trucks on the beach right to this spot, and they all basically tailgate on the beach, Saturdays and Sundays. And
that
so
sounds
they call
awesome.
themselves the Beach Bums. And so
Thank you.
my in-laws are
I
are
could very easily be part of that.
yes. They do bonfires. A lot of people cut wood in the group and stuff, so they bring the extra wood to the thing. They light a fire, and it's a nice time. So they do
Good for
horseshoes
you.
out there. They set up horseshoe. And yeah, it's a good old time. So we'll probably end up doing that for a couple of days, and during the day, and yeah, it should be fun. So I look forward to that. But we will see you next week, and I'll let Gil, any final thoughts I'll let you have before we let you go.
Shameless plug, be sure to catch our latest episode 249. We cover the 3 games mentioned here, as we said. Looking forward to next week where we get closer to the trade deadline, talk about what deals might be made, and hopefully Caps continue their winning ways. And mad props to you, Robbie and Champ, and everybody else coming on for this edition of Sports on the Hill. Like you said, doing a little Wilson Pickett thing tonight. Gonna wait till the midnight hour. So gotta love it.
I just love that gimmick. I just want to say that. I just love that gimmick. I love it.
I was
He's
gonna say,
consistent.
Robbie, you gave him the opportunity,
I always
and
do, and he'll always
yeah,
do it.
he never lets
And
you
what's great
down.
is, Champ, if you listen to their show, he always ends with 1-2, and then sometimes if you keep on listening, you can hear Anna's reaction after the credits.
Oh
So,
yeah. Where it's a big old, what the fuck? Where do these come from?
well,
It's a gift.
how much I appreciate you both, and how much I appreciate an excellent Caps week like this week was, and fun to
Absolutely.
cover it, and to actually get to go and get to celebrate that with you guys. And we'll talk to you next week, Gil, and I'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. Have a
Definitely.
great show, and we'll see you guys soon.
Take care,
All right.
guys.
Yep.
Bye,
Yep.
Champ.
Good night, guys.